separate window.
I need
GM Farcaster. Yeah, we're having a little bit of technical challenges this morning, so we apologize for the late start. But we're going to quickly get this rolling. So we will be back in 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster, happy Friday. It is Friday, May 16th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. I had technical challenges and I didn't realize it till the last minute. So then I was having then Adrian had to go pull the links and that became a whole thing. So we're sorry.
And get a new webcam. And get a new webcam.
It was a lot. And I'm also running on very little sleep because I was doing a bunch of stuff for Cast Out last night. So here's what we have for you today. We're going to start with some Cast Out because we're not doing a separate Cast Out show today. So we're going to start there. We're going to do a vote reveal. I'm going to do a quick recap of yesterday, and I'm going to talk about what's happening for the next 3 days. Then we are going to do the Farcaster news. We'll jump in. We'll talk about the airdrop and the rebrand and all the crazy things happening. And then Tony Hawk's popping by in about 20 minutes to chat about Betterment. And he might have some alpha. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. All right. So let's dive in. Adrian, yesterday we had Farcaster Trivia making a comeback as part of Cast Out. And it was so fun. I had so much fun with it.
It was a lot of fun. I played.
How'd you do?
I did fine. I got out at some. I forget what even question got me out. I felt like it wasn't totally fair for me to play. No, I got out before then.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it really wasn't. You couldn't win, but you could play. I was playing just to be in the chat.
I really like, by the way, some of the early questions, which I know I helped write, really reminded me of like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. Like they were such gimmies. And why were people getting them wrong? Ted and Woj are not the founders of Farcaster, unless it was like the Ponder prediction poll where they thought we were joking, or they just don't know.
I don't know. Like, no, like, how do you not know that? If you really think Ted and Woj are the founders of Farcaster, we're not doing our jobs. It's just, that's not good. But it was really fun. And I'm chatting with the Farcaster trivia team, the FC trivia team, about doing a regular GM Farcaster trivia. So we're working on that. We're going to pull together some sponsors. We're going to try and make it free to play for at least our hyper sub, as well as maybe like the first 100 people who join or something like that. So we're working on all that. We'll have more very soon, as soon as I have a minute to breathe. So I loved it. I had so much fun. But I was like, this would be perfect. We could just go and talk about, here's what we talked about in the past week. Here are questions from GM Farcaster from the past week.
You're making.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
It's going to feel like school.
Yeah. Do your homework. No, it'll be easy. If you're here every day, it's going to be a piece of cake for like Miriam, Yes to Crypto, Meta David. The people who are here every day, they can have a little advantage. They can win some money. I mean,
right. How many dick butts were on Adrian's shirt last week?
Exactly. One too many. Oh, by the way, did you pull that link?
No.
There was a new dick butt meta. Anyway, back to Cast Out real quick. So we had Farcaster Trivia, super fun, loved it. And our winners were Kyle Patrick, and of course I do not have it. Where the heck did it go? Totally lost that one, but it was Kyle Patrick. There it is. Kyle Patrick and Ice Toad. both from the purple tribe, which saved me from trying to come up with a tiebreaker. So I was like, ooh, I don't have to even think about this. Fantastic. So the purple tribe was immune. You could vote for any of the other tribes. And you know what's really funny? There was a tribe, I will not name them, the vote before, who said, we should try and get out purple because they're going to be really good at Farcaster trivia. And you were right. You were very right. They were, as they should be. This was theirs to lose. So congratulations, Purple. And Kyle Patrick and Ice Toad split 50K DGen as the prize. Anyone could have won that. You did not have to be playing Cast Out to win. But if you're from Purple, you probably were very likely to win, even if you were not playing. So fantastic. That was a lot of fun. So now they have another vote that they needed to do. So we're going to do a vote reveal real quick. But before that, let me just share. Whoops, let me remove that. Let me go do this. This is when I'm just got too many things happening. All right. Why is this? No, not that. This. It will not show me the thing I want. There we go. Just a quick shout out to our Cast Out sponsors, Lil Nounstow. That's why it is Cast Out Lil Island. And there is a little island, couple little islands that will be given out as prizes. So coming soon. Octant, thank you so much to Octant. And we had questions for all of these sponsors in the Farcaster Trivia. And we're going to do the same if we start up a regular Farcaster Trivia, where if you're sponsoring, you'll have a question mixed in there. And Purple. So, you know, I'm glad to see them win. We like our sponsors to still be in the game. DGen also has been a reward sponsor, as you saw with Farcaster Trivia yesterday. And thank you to all of the sponsors of Cast Out. We appreciate you. So here's what's happening next is the vote. So let's dive into it. Sorry to see whoever goes. This was an interesting vote. And here's what I found out yesterday. On 2 different tribes, there are biological sisters. I did not know this. And I'm watching the votes going in and I'm like, oh my God. One of these sisters might be voting out one of the other sisters right now. So that was kind of interesting little piece of drama that if we were doing a real reality show, that storyline would have played out.
Oh, yeah.
So there
Producers are all over that.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So let's dive into it. Here are our votes. First vote is the DV tribe. Our second vote is Maya. Third vote is Little Sock Gang, who, by the way, has used their immunity idol. They have a hidden immunity idol. They're using it for this round. So after this round, they no longer have an immunity idol. So this vote does not count. So in other words, if Little Sock Gang wins, they still stay in the game. So this vote does not count. Good News has 1 vote. So right now we have 1 for DV, 1 for Maya, 1 for Good News, 1 for Little Sock Gang that does not count. So we are currently tied 1-1-1. And we have another 1 for DV, 2 for DV, 1 for Maya, 1 for Good News, and 1 last one for DV. And I'm so sorry to say that the DV tribe has been voted out. I cannot reveal whether your sister was one of the people who voted you out. You'll have to ask them. But I'm very sorry to see you go. DGen veteran, Z Willow, Janica, the dude, and Offline. You have been eliminated from the game. I'm sorry. You guys have been great to play with. And thank you for playing.
Sorry to see you go.
Sorry to see you go. I'm sorry but it's been fun. Today, what's happening is, I'm sorry. Yeah. Today, what's happening is there's no challenge today, but what's happening over the weekend, we have confessional time. So what this means is the individual players, regardless of whether they are still in the game, so as long as they were a player for this season, they can do a confessional and have a chance to win a part of 150,000 DGen plus some bonus prizes for the top 3, including a Lil Noun, which is a little island. So there's an opportunity to win that if you come in first. And we'll also have some DGen going out to all of you. 150,000 DGen is in this prize pool. It'll be split based on likes, and the people who are voting DGen when I set the round up. So not moving forward, but when I set the round up. So if you're holding DGen in your Warplet, and yes to crypto, I know you are. I saw you on that list. There's a few other people. If you played Cast Out previously, you have some DGen in your wallet, so you may be in this as well. So if you have some Cast Out token, your votes, aka your likes, do count for this round. That includes you, Adrian. All right. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do a reality show style confessional. So Cast Out, Little Island players, create a reality show confessional style video. Use your creativity and tell us what's been your favorite part of Cast Out. What's been your least favorite? How's your tribe behind the scenes? Give us some tea. Which tribe do you want to see eliminated next? Any regrets or whatever's on your mind? You don't have to do all of those things. Those are just suggested prompts. You can do a walk and talk, get creative, have some fun with it. If you're a non, be creative. You don't have to show us your face. You can find ways. If there's some non-English speakers who are in the mix, and my suggestion to them is do it in your native language and just add some subtitles. Like, don't make it more difficult on yourself. So very excited to see what you guys come up with. There's, like I said, 150,000 DGen, bonus prizes for the top 3. And this is only open to this season's Cast Out players. So both active and already eliminated. The round starts at 11 a.m. and runs for 3 days throughout the weekend. Totally optional. Has nothing to do with tribe immunity. So have some fun and enjoy. Yeah. So you had fun with this when we did it in your season.
I sure did. By the way, let us know if our audio is getting cut out. Prof, I hear you fine. And I hear you fine.
Okay.
But
Lord help me.
okay.
I heard my name and
By
DJ
the way,
sentence together. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
God.
The way you described the round made it imply that there's people who don't have DGen in their Warplet.
No, Cast Out, not DGen.
Oh,
It's the
you said
Cast Out
DGen.
token. DGen is what they're winning. The
You
people
said who
are,
can vote needed DGen token.
sorry, Cast Out
Cast out token. Okay.
Cast Out token. Cast Out token. So if you're a previous player, if you're holding some Cast Out token in your connected wallet, you get to vote in this round.
Okay.
So apologies. We're having a bit of an issue today. It's a bit of a day. Been a bit of a day.
It's I did a confessional video, and it was no one likes to record. Actually, maybe some people do, but most people do not like recording themselves speaking and sharing it. But it was worth it and fun, and don't take it too seriously. And you're lucky because the meta these days is walk and talks. Everyone's loving it.
Perfect.
So just sneak it in there.
And you could even, if you tag the @walk and talk, it will be added to the little mini app as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toady Hawk is joining in a little bit.
Yes, the Toady Hawk. I'll be referring to him as that.
Indeed.
And I should double check and make sure he is.
If you're doing confessionals, tag me when you post, or DM.
Yeah.
Make sure you DM them so we make sure we see them.
I'll see him. I'll be looking in the Cast Out channel. Oh no, the audios are out. Is anyone else having audio issues? If you're not hearing us, which that wouldn't make any sense, we should probably type that. Like, if you can't hear us. Oh Lord. Yeah, raise your hand if you can hear us. Because we're just asking you on audio, which is not helpful at all.
After exiting and coming back, and that's a YouTube. Okay. So I don't know if you're in YouTube, exit, come back.
Maybe it's a YouTube issue today. Everyone's having technical issues today, us included. All right, Adrian.
When I was pulling the links, so yesterday there was an issue with SnapChain that Varun posted about, and then casted a analysis. It was back. There was amps went down for a little bit. Nanar had an issue, like, and I did not pull any of those in the news because I don't want to focus on things that are going wrong.
This is what happens when I have Adrian pull links. She's like, we're only doing good stuff. We're not going to focus on anything negative. It's Happy Friday. It's not everything that went down yesterday, Friday.
Well, it's just we happen to have our own technical issues this morning. You didn't have volume. My camera went out. Like it's
there's something in the air. Is there like one of those is it one of those things where like the sun starts shooting off weird rays or something? Maybe
it is.
I don't know.
Yes. What's going on. Or the AIs are getting closer to singularity. Shall we cover some Farcaster news before Todi gets here?
Yes, let's do that. So that's on you, girl. Is this where we're starting? Go ahead.
Yes, we're starting with Kyle Patrick's roundup from yesterday, which is a nice overview of things happening across the Farcaster ecosystem. One, Farcaster did host, because it was yesterday, 1 p.m. yesterday with TK Stanjak. I also don't have my Polish pronunciation correct, as Chaskin warned me about when he was on Wednesday. The new co-executive director of the Ethereum Foundation and founder of Nethermind. 2, Farcaster now supports Base Sepolia in both wallet and mini apps for developers. That's Base testnet. 3, Warpcast will be renamed Farcaster, restore the Arch logo, move to farcaster.xyz, and maintain backwards compatible links. More on that later. 4, Warpcast has improved mini app transaction previews. 5, Ethereum announces the $1 trillion security initiative to upgrade network security. 6, Farcade introduces Leagues, a competitive mini app with tiered rankings and a linear XP system. 7, Wyslyv, WYSLYBH, launches the Farcaster App Store mini app in FAP Store at FAP Store.
Yeah, we're not calling it that. Anyways.
Stokefire is building a new battle system with stone resources, weapon crafting, and villager armies. And 9, Farville invites art submissions for a farm-themed contest with a 20 USDC prize for the top fan art. Kyle's been doing a bunch of these.
At all? Yeah, no. Kyle does a great job with this. This is something, for some weird reason, I never played Farmville over on Facebook, but for some reason, I like Farville. It's just this, it's almost like a meditation at this point, where it's just something I do in the morning, something I do at night, and it has this like really chill music, which if you play often, you probably hear it in your head right now. When I said that. So it's like just this little, I like go in and I do, and I'm like, whatever. And I'm not paying attention to leaderboards or, I'm just doing my little thing and I get my crops.
Nice.
It's very very fun.
I'll sport the gaming tops, but I don't, I'm not super, I am playing DX Terminal. And speaking of, speaking of nice meditative music, every time I open DX Terminal, I'm like, where's the mute button? Okay.
I muted it immediately.
And then it keeps unmuting itself. I'm like, stop. I never want to hear this song.
By the way, have you seen our ad? Hold on. I gotta show this really quick. Have you seen the ad? This is DX Terminal, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, and if you look in there's fake banner, there were banner ads made in 80s and 90s kind of vibe within the DX Terminal. So on that bottom left, you will see rotating banner ads. And that is our GM Farcaster one. I pulled the 80s version that we had and then just added GM Farcaster over one of the things, and it links over to us. Yeah. Isn't that hilarious?
What's our CPM? Like, what are we paying for, for CPM? Is it
0? We're paying 0. Thank you. Thank you, DX Terminal team. Appreciate it very much.
Confession, I can't get DX Terminal to work in my browser, only my mobile app. So I can't see this beautiful, like I really can't play. I can't get my
It's
traders to
amazing.
trade. They suck. Does anyone want 4 traders? I'm putting
You
them on the
have to do
market.
it. Yeah, you do have to do it on desktop. It does not work properly in mobile, I don't think. So sorry.
Awkward. We'll be talking about Wallet Connect in just a bit.
Yeah. Wallet Connect.
But let's finish some Farcaster news.
Let's get back to Farcaster news. Toady Hawk is in the green room. We see you there, Toady. And by the way, Zero Rights also has a banner ad in DX Terminal.
Oh,
so
I love it.
And it's really cute.
I'm so happy you pointed that out to me because I did not know. And I love our 80s
cute.
look.
I love our ad. It's so funny. All right, continue on.
On to Friday news. DWR Farcaster team is cooking with gas right now. In the next 7 days, 1, Warpcast to Farcaster rebrand. 2, auth addresses. No more open Warpcast on mobile in mini apps. 3, spinning up a few targeted cohorts for creator onboarding. Haven't heard about that, but I know I can imagine what that is.
It's kind of what they've been doing. It's kind of what Ted's been doing by onboarding a group of journalists, onboarding. Yeah, so I'll be curious to see who else she's targeting. Interesting.
Yeah. 4, launching 2 new ecosystems for wallet mini apps. 5,
what does that mean? I wonder.
I imagine
what does that mean?
I think it's just imagining supporting different chains, layer 2s, community, platforms, like interoperability and integration in Warplet. Like what?
Got it.
And I still think there's the Farcaster equals base perception.
Yeah.
When you use Farcaster, it really doesn't matter. When we were doing those trivia questions, like, does it matter what chain Farcaster's on? Does it matter when within Farcaster you can kind of integrate and interop? 5, another confirmed airdrop.
Ooh.
6, making progress on a big new thing, should be in quotes. Hopefully can share next week. What does everybody think that is?
By the way, if you could maybe reach out to DWR and see if he wants to come announce the big new thing on here, like that'd be great. That'd be fabulous.
And 7, a bunch of wallet mini app quality of life improvements.
Awesome.
All right,
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's speed run a few more things.
Okay. Heads up, and I'm sure everyone saw this yesterday. If you're already following the Farcaster account, you'll see Farcaster casted for the first time in a while, but they're going to start doing more announcements from the official Farcaster account. So go follow that.
Or just
yesterday.
Or just come here. If you just come here 3 times a week, you'll see it anyway.
If you're more of a listener. Okay, yesterday, Wallet Connect airdrop for Farcaster users is live. Check your mobile app to see if you're eligible. So this was the WCT airdrop. Prof, did you get an airdrop?
I did, and I didn't think I did. And then I just found it hiding. It's because my notifications were just a shit show. And it was there.
And did you stake?
I had a busy day. I staked. Yep, I staked. It's there. The airdrop flows are really just so good. So good. I love what they're doing with that. It's been pretty amazing.
Because it's connected. It's not just here's your money. It's here you click. It triggers the mini app opening, which then the airdrop developers, whoever can kind of, now that they have your attention, get you to do something. So
which is great. And by the way, if you're watching this on Twitter and you're not on Warpcast, here's just one more reason why you should be. Sorry, on Farcaster. Here's one reason why you should be. So there you go.
Yeah. And then of course when there's free money, why didn't I get any free money? Also, don't do it for the money, but it's this is not generational wealth you're getting from these airdrops, but more access. They're using public data from protocol. They're sharing this information with projects and the team. So it's not even the Warpcast team making the decision of who's getting it. They're deciding, right? Airdrop teams are deciding how many people, how much to offer. If you want to increase your likelihood for future airdrops, completing verifications, so that's the connecting Twitter, your GitHubs, fund your wallet, use Farcaster daily, use Warpcast daily. So they're checking that. Be active, use mini apps, do transactions at least once a week, more and better using your Warplet. And then if
once
you
a
opt
week,
into,
I'm sorry, multiple times a day. Is that what I heard?
No.
Oh, okay. That's just
so again, so this is just our proof of work.
Proof of work. Farcaster requires proof of work. We've been saying that for a year and a half. There you go. Year and a half, maybe more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where are we at? Almost
And
2.
I guess shout out to the team who's been working on the airdrop flow, Slogue, Blockheim, Puros B3,
Daniel.
Deodad, and Horsefax.
I'm never saying it that way. I'm always saying Daniel. By the way, yeah, again, like the flow is so good. So really appreciate the effort that they're doing there. It's just a whole different type of airdrop experience than anywhere else for sure.
Yeah. I won't go too much into this. This is just from Cameron. I've been in crypto for 4 years and I have no idea what this means. And it's congrats wallet connector. You claimed 14.5 WCT. Start staking your tokens to pave the way for a
there
fully
was a lot of
permissionless
discussion around the comms on this, that, you know, the flow is great. Everything was great. You know, love the staking app was well done. But there was no discussion around that part of it. And yeah, that was one area where if you are doing an airdrop and you want to communicate such things, we're here for you. We'll help
Yes,
you.
I've
We'll help you
actually,
with that.
before this, have slid into Dan's DMs to say that the Merkle team should, when they're coordinating with teams, combine it. That like, if you're doing an airdrop, just combine it with a GM Farcaster appearance. Like, come on for 10 minutes and tell us about your airdrop and why you're doing it, and we'll help get that message across.
Yep. And then we'll clip it and ship it out to everybody as well. Yeah. So there you go.
So
all right. What else? Give us like a few more things and let's bring up the fabulous Toady Hawk. Toady, by the way, we started a little late. We had some technical difficulties, so just bear with us. We see you down there.
I think we'll just cover the rebrand is the only last big news. Yeah. Warpcast is being rebranded to Farcaster. The mobile app will be called Farcaster again. Again. The Arch logo will return. The website will move from warpcast.com to farcaster.xyz. All links will be backwards compatible. No action needed. And will roll out this week depending on App Store reviews. And you may expect some that, like, the linking is very difficult to do. We saw this when Twitter rebranded to X. People are, you know, in terms of things breaking. So, expected side effects. Some users may be logged out on web. Some things may be a little glitchy. So just hang in there. And
did you have some of the rebrand ones were funny. That was great with the 2022 to back to it, and we're back. and we're back to the Arch.
We're not just going to get
W.
the F.
Goodbye, W. Hello, Arch.
Yes,
and I loved some of the takes on this were really funny. By the way, you guys have never seen this logo. I think Adrian and I and a couple other folks who've been in our Discord have seen this logo because I never used it publicly. I didn't love it, and I was like, this isn't right. This isn't the right feel. But the first thing I created was the Discord before we did anything else. So that was really funny to me. So there you go.
Yeah,
now you've seen it.
I am excited.
This was great.
Yeah. I am one of those, like, I liked having a little air between the protocol and the apps. Like, I like that there's a distinction. Not that I care that much about Farcaster versus Warpcast, whatever. Like, for sure. Oh, by the way, at FarCon, I'm talking to people who are on Farcaster, on Warpcast. They are not at FarCon, the summit, but at the side events. And they kept asking me, what is Warpcast? What is Warpcast? What is Farcaster? Like, they already have accounts and they have no idea. So, like,
crazy.
The messaging has to simplify if you want to reach people. So I'm all for it, but I'm super excited for the Arch, because if you remember, like a few years ago, every time people, I mean, it's like McDonald's, right? Every time people would see arches in the wild, you could post public. So they're just way more mimetic and brandy.
Agree.
So
absolutely. Yeah. The W never caught on. Warps did, like warp things, like warp things. By the way, I am so Mookie, my dog, is so in favor of this. He is also a dachshund, and he is very much in favor of the dachshund Arch Bert. Yeah, we like this.
Yes,
we love this.
The dog
definitely in favor of this. Speaking of mimetic crazy things. And I also liked it with pants. Yes.
By the way, which is like the correct answer? How does
I think
the
number
dog
2, just the bottom half. The front
Of
half
course.
doesn't have to be covered. You know, it's
Right,
fine.
because if you're wearing, like, how do you wear a shirt then?
Yeah, exactly. You got to put a shirt on the top half. Yeah, we need the Yes to Crypto shirt on the top half.
Did we cover Farcaster news?
I think we did. Do we have anything else that is pressing? Oh yeah, this improved transaction previews. Always helpful to see what you're transacting. So always useful. Love these little tips. Adrian, do a quick scan. Anything else before we bring up the Toady Hawk? Hold on, I gotta pull that so you can see that. Yeah. Anything else that we missed?
It's
The
Friday.
Toady Hawk.
The Toady Hawk.
The Toady Hawk. From the Emily. All right, you ready? Should we bring them up? We good? All right, let's bring them up to talk about Betterment. And I'm very excited. You know what I need to do though? I need to change my background because I had a different virtual background for this moment.
Ooh,
So
all right.
1 second. I got to switch it out. Here we go.
Thank God you guys didn't go with GM Warpcaster, right?
Exactly.
Close call.
Close call. I said that. I was like, the first thing I'm like really glad we went with GM Farcaster and not GM Warpcast.
You knew.
Yeah, I had a
They
feeling.
just
I had a
hired
feeling.
Prof and Adrian for comms. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about Betterment. And also, did you have any thoughts on you should come on GM Farcaster when you have an airdrop coming?
Yeah, I thought that was very slick. Yeah. And I guess I'm the first. I guess I'm the first in that. I'm the first in that flow. Alpha.
There you go.
We may or may not be. I mean, I have no idea if DWR is talking about us or not. Probably not. But we are one of the airdrops that's slated for very soon. So
I'm sure he's talking about you. Absolutely. Maybe. So let's talk about what Betterment is first. And then we'll dive into all the airdrops and all the things. Let me throw this up real quick so we kind of see what you guys have been cooking.
If you need a demo, by the way, you can go to betterment.fun/demo now, and it actually gives you a demo version of the game, even if there's not one running. So that's kind of
cool. I will definitely do that. Let me do that, and that will probably be a better approach. Let me go grab that. It was betterment.what?
So BETRMINT, betterment.fun/demo, and that should bring you to a demo of a recent round where you can mint for free. It's not real though.
It's not real. You get nothing. Aw.
You get nothing and you will be happy.
Twinsies.
Matching. Cheers.
Matching.
Wait. The photo. Ready? Cheers.
Cheers. Adrian, do you have a mug handy by any chance?
It is not a GM Farcaster.
Oh, ouch. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Adrian's like my wife when I'm trying to get all my kids to look at the camera, and I finally get them all, and then she's looking somewhere else. I'm like,
look at somewhere else.
Come on.
I apologize. I was getting text from the electrician who's coming on his way.
That's fair.
It is such a shit of a day. Sorry.
I'm telling you, we're having a bit of a day.
I have no lights.
Oh God.
Awesome.
Jeez. Yeah, we're having a bit of a day here. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. We're thinking maybe there's some kind of thing. Some kind of thing happening.
Sound in? You got to have the sound for this.
Oh shoot. Hold on 1 second. That's a good point.
Do it live.
We're gonna do this a little differently then. I have to share it differently. That's all.
I feel bad because Emily Jr. was just like chomping at the bit for this segment, so I really want to get into it for him.
I know.
I saw he posted the chat on Warpcast. He was like trolling me.
Oops. Let me go to the big one. Actually, that's better. This is super fun. I really loved. Let me make sure the sound is on. Okay. So what you do is you mint, spin, and win. So talk about a little bit about the flow, and then I'll show it. So what is the whole concept
give you the TLDR on Betterment. So basically, if you've heard of, and I know you guys have because you've used them, like there's these protocols like Boost, XYZ, and Layer 3 that have done a lot of innovation in the space with regards to being able to use meme coins, put them into a contract, or other tokens, any token really, put them into a contract and use them to incentivize certain behaviors that you want your collectors to take. So often that might mean just putting a bunch of degen, for example, in a pool, so that when people collect your pod on pods.media, they automatically get like an 80% back credit, essentially, in the meme coin. So we've experimented a lot with this. We learned a lot about this strategy from Adam Levy, actually, in the Blueprint Content Accelerator, which highly recommend any creators who are trying to figure out how to make revenue on chain apply for their next cohort. We were part of cohort 2, and it was really educational. And Adam has a lot of really interesting and awesome ideas about how to do that. So took a lot of what we learned there. We were using it. We had a couple protocols and projects sponsor Zero Rights, our media org, to make content, and that was working really well. But I one thing I noticed is that it doesn't really get people excited. And if you have distribution, which I'm lucky enough, and you guys are lucky enough to have distribution on Farcaster, you can put up a boost, and then you can tell your audience, hey, check this out and go claim it. But if you're a small creator and you don't have an audience, or you're just starting out, you could put a boost up on your pod, and actually it'll just sit there because nobody knows it's there. It's like a tree falling in the woods. So there's this problem of like no baked in distribution, essentially, for some of these mechanisms. And then the other thing too is that there's no urgency. There's no like temporal element to it. There's no reason why you need to go and claim this right now. So I was like, well, what could we do to kind of bring those two elements into the picture? And that's where the idea for Betterment came from. It was inspired a lot by Warp Slot and some of the other mini apps that I really love playing. In fact, a little bit of lore on this is that when I first had the idea, I reached out to Colin from Warp Slot and was like, hey, like, what do you think about adding this to the, to your app? And as we started talking, I'm like, no, I'm just going to like complicate your very simple, perfect app. And so
it's very simple, like gamified thing.
Yeah. And I mean, we're trying to keep ours simple too, but like Warp Slot is like just beautifully simple. You show up, you spin, you win. It's great. So I started talking with Net Knows, who's a friend of mine from the Yellow Collective. Shout out Yellow. And he's like, well, let's just build this. And we've been wanting to build something for a while. So I've been telling people that we vibe coded this app, and I'm going to keep using this joke until people tell me it's not funny anymore, which could be today. But I brought the vibe, and Net Knows brought the code, and we made this little app. So it's a perfect
combo.
Yeah. So basically, you show up, as you can see here on the screen. You show up. One thing to mention is that we're only doing this like every other day right now. So if you're familiar with how like Salvino's been doing Yapster, the Solana meme coin game, where basically they run a game and then they sit back and like say, okay, what broke, what didn't, what worked, what didn't, iterate, get feedback, and then come back when they're ready. So we've been doing it basically every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to sort of do that. So you have to install the mini app, which you can do at betterment.fun. Excuse me, go on Farcaster, of course, and then install the mini app, and then you'll get a notification when the game goes live. The next one's today at 3 p.m. EST, so that's a little bit of alpha for you. You pop in when the game is live, and this is what you'll see, this demo that you see on the screen here. You'll see the featured content of the day. Yesterday, last game was Startup Radar by Jeff XYZ. You mint it, and then you get as many tickets as the editions that you minted. So if you mint one edition, you get one ticket. If you mint 100 editions, you get 100 tickets, and then you can just spin this fun wheel. And it's too bad. Oh, there, the sound is working. Awesome. Very fun. 5x. There you go.
Woohoo! That's a lot of dick butt.
That is a lot of dick butt. By the way, I have to give a shout out to dick butt. People love the dick butt, apparently. It was our fastest round ever. So basically the rounds go for 2 hours or until the prize pool is gone. And typically they've been running like 45 minutes or so. And the dick butt was all gone in like 22 minutes. It was insane. Like people just, they wanted it. They wanted it bad. Funny. So. But yeah, so it's very, very simple mechanism. You collect. I mean, the main thing is you're collecting content, you're supporting a creator, and then you just get a little, instead of just getting an 80% back bonus like you would on pods, you get a little bit of dopamine rush. You get to spin a wheel. Maybe you'll get nothing. Maybe you'll get 1x, 2x, 5x, even 100x back your meme coin. So it just kind of adds that little thrill. I've been calling it kind of like a content casino vibe, and it seems to be working. People seem to really like it. We've had over 5,500 installs in a week on the app.
That's great.
Almost all of them have notifications on, which is kind of a byproduct of the way the app works. Because if you don't have noties on, you won't be able to see when the game is. Feedback's pretty good. We've been taking feedback, changing changing things, adding things. We just introduced a leaderboard actually this week, which people were asking for a lot. So, of course, our friend Yes to Crypto is climbing up that leaderboard as he always does. So yeah, you could basically earn.
I pulled some of your
some
of your images, and one of them I pulled was the leaderboard.
Oh, nice.
Matter of fact.
Very cool.
Oh
yeah, funny. With Yes to Crypto, no less. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I pulled it. That's exactly why I pulled it. I saw his name up there, and I'm like, oh, I got to pull this really quick.
Yeah. So
I forgot I did that. Actually, I was like, oh, that's right, I have that. Yeah. So yeah, I love the whole concept. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to get additional distribution as well. We did this with our episode with DWR. It was like the second one you did is sort of like, in the beta week, if you will.
Yeah.
And it, got a whole bunch new mints that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. A couple thousand, I think it was something crazy. So, and it also then, sort of revives that content again, which was, pretty evergreen when you're doing an interview with Dan. So it wasn't like, it's not like it's stale. So it was great. It was very cool.
Most of the content producers we've been partnering with have been doing new content, but I like that we tried doing a bit of an older piece for you guys, because I think that is a good opportunity, is to sort of resurface and revive old stuff, because we've talked about this a little bit at Farcon, Prof, but like I'm coming around to the notion that a lot of this on-chain minting behavior when it comes to content is more about tokenizing the attention around the content rather than tokenizing the content itself. So in a way, it's kind of like, running an ad on a YouTube video that you did 5 months ago that's evergreen, to resurface it for new eyeballs. Doing something like Betterment, you get it in front of all these people, and some of them, they all collect it. And I used to say, like, when people are collecting your content, it's kind of like, if they watch your YouTube, the worst they can do is leave you a bad comment, but they and then leave. But if they collect your content, they have to look at your content in their wallet forever. Like, they have to send it to they have to send it to 0x dead if they want to get rid of you. So it's a little harder.
If you really want to get rid of it, you're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do some work. And we did have a great chat with you and Rachel at Farcon. We're still waiting on that content. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm losing it. We've gotten just a few parts of it, but we haven't gotten everything yet, and we don't have any of the interviews that we did. So we're just waiting on that, hoping. We saw some more starting to come in today, so fingers crossed.
When it's ready,
let's love for it to come in before the weekend. If you want, we definitely should do that. That would be amazing.
What was
and
your
I'd love to like? when you have a slot open, I'd love to put the Fred Wilson one on there, because I think that would be a fun one to put out there and get a little more traction on. So
let's do it. What was your experience like as a creator using the app?
I think it's fantastic. Like, it gave this boost to, again, this content that we haven't that we got some additional eyes on. So I think that, to me, is one of the biggest, benefits from the creator perspective, is you're getting additional eyeballs, not only on your content, but maybe even on your podcast itself. Like, these might be people who don't even know who you are, because for whatever reason, probably not us, but others.
Because they just
Adrian said there was people who didn't know what Warpcast was at Farcon. So surely,
because you just woke up from a coma. So welcome back.
Welcome back. So there, but that, I think, is a huge benefit, because it's constant, not struggle, but it's a challenge. There's a lot of content out there. Yes. We're in a smaller niche, but there's still a lot you're competing with in general. So you're always trying to grab that attention, and any way that you can help with that, I think, is a benefit to the creator, for sure. And in terms of the app itself, it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. Like, it has a great flow. I really like it. And I just like the vibe of it. I think it's fun. It just makes it very fun. It's very like 80s Vegas casino vibe.
That's what I was going for sure.
I'm gonna love that.
I did the UX, so keep talking. I love it. No, but
I do. That's the and it's fun. It's just fun. I think anytime that you wrap things in a box of fun, as we used to say, it makes it that much better. So
big shout out to Matt Nozo, my partner on this. Like, he's just been amazing doing this, like, while doing a day job as well, and like making sure that everything gets done on the ground. So Thank you, NetNose. If you're watching, we love you. One thing I was going to say is I casted to what you were just speaking about before this. I casted out yesterday about how it can be hard if you're not an on-chain creator to understand what it feels like to suddenly have like 1,000 of your thing minted and like make $300 in 20 minutes. Like it doesn't happen really. And I'm not trying to pat yourself on the back, but if you can create a moment like that creates this like feeling of support for a creator, it's actually pretty powerful. And that's been my favorite thing so far is like we run these rounds and then like it's literally leaving creators kind of like dizzy almost. Cause like we did one with Late Night on Base, shout out Bill. And it was over, and I was like, he's like, so do I promote this on socials? I'm like, bro, it's over. Like,
it's too late.
I mean, we do promote the content for like 24 hours before and after the round, but like the round itself went so fast that he didn't even have time to tweet about it during the round. And he was like, he's like, I don't see any money in my wallet. I'm like, yeah, I mean, the split hasn't processed, but like you made $300. Yeah. He's like, holy shit. Like you can see the shock.
Wait,
like,
what?
That might take like a week or a month for a creator usually on a piece or ever. Like sometimes your content
on Web 2, especially. I mean, if you're only doing things on Web 2,
I'm just comparing it to Web 3, but on Web 2, it's a completely other story. You need millions of. I mean, Rachel talks about this in the interview that you're going to release about how she had a podcast for years that had millions of downloads and really had struggled to monetize it in any meaningful way. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and happens all over the place where you have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. You really have to hit a whole different level to be able to monetize this type of media. So and we've been able to do it like within a month and a half of launching because we're on Farcaster and be able to, and build that as we go. We're still not at a point where I feel like we're sustainable at any way, shape, or form, but it's been it's been a pleasant surprise to be able to tap into all these different Web3 aspects that can definitely provide some revenue where other folks who are creating content aren't seeing that if they're only doing it in Web 2. So,
by the way, that virtual background goes so hard. I'm gonna have to use
doesn't it?
Isn't it good? Backgrounds, but that one's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I like it. I was like,
you're joining us from the casino floor right now.
Right. I had it. I first was going to use this one as my background. And then as soon as I found this, I'm like, oh, no, this is the one. This is beautiful as a background. It's great. It's a little Giblified version, which, hey, Toady, how many days do we have left now? Before your unlock? Before your Giblify unlock?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's like, I don't know. I think we might be closing in on 200 and something. I don't know. You left. Days left. For those who don't know what we're talking about, I launched a clanker on something that Toady said. Toady had Giblified the Leonardo DiCaprio moment of like this, and it said clanker, and I clanked it while he was doing something else. It popped off. And I had done a lockup, which I thought was 30 days, and it was 365 days of 10% of the 10% of it for him, and it was just a hilarious comedy of errors. I
mean, it is my retirement plan, so please
let's hope.
Govern yourselves accordingly.
Reminding me, I have to go burn some more because I have way too much, and I'm never going to sell it. So it's like I just need to go burn it. Which I'm going to use Empire for. Which if you haven't checked out Empire, go check it out. It's
I'm learning about Empire. Your Berserker sent me a bunch of information. I'm taking it all in. It's very cool. So
yeah, it's very cool. I have to do more with it. I need to go do some more with it for the cast out token because you mentioned Warp Slot.
Yeah,
cast out is going to be in Warp Slot, I think today. So you can win some cast out token in Warp Slot today. I was going to launch a new one this season, and I decided not to at the last minute.
Okay.
Just because I figure we'll just keep the cast out token for now. But maybe next time we'll do another one. Just to
the nice thing about tokens is you can always kind of revive the attention around them, right?
Exactly.
Do a new deploy.
That one has a weird mechanism where I don't own enough of it to be able to give it away. So because it was an early clanker, very early. So it doesn't have as many of the bells and whistles of the later clankers. So that's the only reason I would.
What you should have done is bought a bunch of the supply when no one was looking.
I did. And I keep doing that when nobody's looking. But it still has a much higher price than it's much higher than usual early clanker. I'll just put it that way. So that's why, because it is a smaller supply.
Speaking of tokens, can I talk a little bit about what we've done with our
yes,
tokens?
this is what I was going to cue you up for. What's coming next? Here we go. Here's the alpha. Let's do it.
You can't build an app on Farcaster without clanking a project coin, right? Is that a rule? No, I'm just
I think it's a rule. I'm pretty sure it's a rule.
You can, but it's fun to experiment with that, and it's fun to bootstrap attention, bootstrap liquidity, using the interesting on-chain native tools that we have at our disposal. So we did clank $better BETR as part of our deploy for Betterment. And we did something a little bit different. So I think someone could correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I think we've basically reserved the largest percentage of the supply for community rewards. So fully 50% of the supply right off the top was put aside for airdrops and community. And actually that wasn't even fully possible with Clanker the way it worked. The most you can vault is 30%. So we put 30% in a vault for 60 days. And then we had to take our own money and do a dev buy essentially for the other 20%. Yep. So we locked up essentially 50% of the supply, and that's being used for a couple different airdrops and then also for prizes in the app to kind of bootstrap the prizes and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting. Definitely means that like the actual circulating market cap is much smaller than what it actually appears when you look at it on DexScreener and whatnot. And I think that's a very Farcaster native thing to do. Like that's how DGen
I love that.
Like,
yeah.
DGen put a huge percentage of its circulating supply locked up and used it to reward people who were using Farcaster and who were being DGens. And so big inspiration from Jacek and what they did with that. And lots of other tokens after that have sort of mimicked what their success. So that's one thing we've done with that. People have asked a lot, of course, when utility. So I do want to talk a little bit about that. The main utility of the token, of course, as with many project tokens on Farcaster, like Clanker, like Banker, like Checker, like Clankermon, lots of these, the main utility is like it's a bet on the builder and what they're building. It's, like I said, a tokenization of the attention around the project. But we do have some interesting plans to incorporate and use the token in a way that doesn't make the app more difficult to use. We do want the app to be like super low barrier to entry. That's like the positive feedback we've gotten a lot is that you can just pop in the app and for $1 and a bit you can play, and it's something fun you can do almost every day. So we don't want to make that more difficult by saying, for example, you have to hold this much better or you have to use better to use the app.
That's good. Yeah,
because I mean the token is sort of like in service of the app, not the other way around. And so if the app is not usable or fun, then it doesn't really matter. But having said that, though, some ideas that we are going to be implementing is potentially skins. So that's one thing we're working on. Where if you have a certain amount of better, you'll get certain skins in the app, which I don't think any mini app has done before. So we're looking into that.
That's fun.
Also, because the games have been going so fast, one thing, and this will probably be the first token utility that we introduce, is I think you're going to be able to get to know the game is live a little bit earlier if you hold a certain amount of better. So this is going to be kind of interesting, where you'll get an early notification, and NetNose is figuring out how to do that with basically a subset of everyone who has the app installed. If you'll hold a certain amount of the token, you'll get an early little alpha that the game is starting. And since the game sometimes have only been lasting 22 minutes, that can actually be pretty valuable. And
they're going fast, right? Depending on how much of the token you have to disperse, it can go really fast, and how many people are playing. So that would be huge to be able to get that early notification. So I love that. And I just found this, and I hadn't seen it before, and I just found it as I was looking for. I was trying to find your $better announcement, and I found this, so I just added it as our logo now. I hadn't seen that one before. I don't know why.
This is really cool, actually. This is something that ChatGPT has gotten really good at, is that I designed the entire interface in Photoshop, because I'm an old head and that's what I use. And so I know there's lots of Figma maxis out there are going to be like, Toadie's such a boomer, he uses Photoshop. Anyway,
Figma's the worst.
Figma's okay, but I'm used to Photoshop. It's what I've used for years. So I did all the design in Photoshop, and then what I did is I kind of like put all the UX, all the different elements into ChatGPT, into the memory, and just used it to sort of basically create a style sheet to be able to spin up memes and stuff like this. And it works extremely well, actually. So if anyone's thinking of using ChatGPT for like on the fly social stuff, like I highly recommend doing the design yourself if you have the capability, and then putting it into like feeding it basically to the
then
machine.
You can do things like this soon and all these cute little.
That one was manual, but like some of them are manual, some of them are not. But yeah,
you had some like, I'm assuming that was not manual.
That one's ChatGPT.
My background, just keeps spinning. Some of them are just super cute. I've really liked.
I'm glad you showed the Better Bomb. So let's talk about the Better Bomb for a quick moment. So the Better Bomb is the biggest airdrop that we're going to be doing. It's the one that we vaulted for 60 days, and we're tracking better karma. Right. And karma is basically just a bit of a black box, but it's tracking how much you're playing, how many spins you're doing, how often you're winning, and what you're sharing in the app.
Is this where you end up on the leaderboard? Is it the karma?
This is what the leaderboard is basically tracking, which you can check at any point by going into the app and hitting the little trophy with the K on it. And you can check where you stand.
Or just ask Yes to Crypto where it is. He knows.
Yeah, or betterment.fund/leaderboard works as well. But you can check there and see where you stand. And essentially that's going to be what we use to figure out allocations during this airdrop. And so it's kind of a measure of how much you've been using the app, how much you've been helping us to get the word out about the app, and also just a bit of a multiplier on how much better token you hold. And then we're going to be able to reward people with this airdrop. And excited about that.
I love that. And I love that you really kind of thought ahead on those kind of things, which is awesome. Oh, interesting. Who's not at the top?
Not yet. Not yet, but he's trying. I mean, the tough thing about this for Yes to Crypto is we only have a game every 2 days, so it's not like he can be grinding all the time. You can only grind when the game is live.
I don't know who you are. Who are you?
Yeah, they've been just killing it.
Yeah,
they won the jackpot one day. They've been minting like 100 or 200 every game. So
wow,
I just love when people get excited about these things. It's fun.
Wow, that's wild. Mm-hmm. I've been doing like usually just doing a one little spin, and
that's good.
I'm just kind of playing along and just doing my thing, and also but I've had times where I've won a 5x, a 2x. Sometimes I win nothing, and that's also fine. Because I'm still collecting something that maybe I haven't seen before. And that's happened a couple times where I'm like, oh, I don't know who this is. And it's definitely been a great way for discovery of new podcasts and content. So for me, that's kind of what the appeal is for me right now. But I love that everyone's going to find their thing, that they want to do. You're going to have the farmers also prominently displayed.
By the way, we embrace the farmers, you can't be in this space and not embrace farmers. Like if people want to do your thing because you set up the incentives, like, I mean, they're there. That's their prerogative. And you know what, if your content's good, maybe the farmers will watch it too, and
exactly
become GM Farcaster fans or what have you.
After they do the harvesting, they're working out in the fields. They got to kick back and relax.
It's honest work.
Yeah, kick back and relax. Exactly. That's what so that is also featured down here in the corner. I love that.
Can I just clarify one thing too about the airdrop?
Go ahead.
So I'm talking about this Better Bomb, which is the one we vaulted, which will happen at the end of the 60-day period. But we do have a launch airdrop that we put off from launch because we were able to get into the Warpcast now Farcaster airdrop program. So a little bit of alpha there, talking to Linda, and we are going to be doing essentially a airdrop that's 10% of the supply of Betterment.
Wow.
Sorry, 5% of the supply of Betterment.
I was like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, big chunk. And it's going out to top mini app users. So we've talked to some of our favorite communities in mini app from around Farcaster and got them to give us basically their list of their top 50 people who make what they built tick. And we put together a list of a really cool group of basically like mini app maxis who are going to get an airdrop via Warpcast/Farcaster next week. So that's some alpha for you.
I want to ask about one more thing. Better Together with Toady Hawk. What is this?
This is a fever dream from last night. Just something we're going to try. I thought it might be kind of fun to do a live stream during the game. I might regret it because sometimes the game can be a bit chaotic when we're trying to get ready for it. So hopefully I don't regret this. But I thought,
you will. You definitely will. But that's okay.
You're probably right. And my parents are in town too, so I'm gonna have to like sneak away from them. Be like, sorry, I got to go do a live stream for the crypto thing. But I'm going to have Ryan on from the creators. And I think this might be an interesting way to sort of give a little bit of extra amplitude, a little bit of extra attention to the creator that we're featuring for that day. Awesome. Is just have them on, have live, capture some of the energy of the game live as well. And it'll just be quick, like, half an hour and then we'll
in and out. Yep. That's awesome. I love that. And
3 p.m.
Stream. We haven't started using Stream yet. And I know it was down for a little bit, and we really need to incorporate it. Have you used this before, or is this the first time you're using it for?
Sorry, I have used it in a previous incarnation. So I know it's changed since then, but apparently it should work like as part, like I can stream it directly from StreamYard.
That was the issue early on, and that's why we didn't, because it was going to be an extra thing, and I was like,
Well, I'll let you know how it goes. We're going to try it today, and
keep me posted.
Ideally, it should end up streaming on both Warpcast and X at the same time. So around 3 p.m. check us out and come hang and play the game. Try the game. Most people have been really liking it. So yeah. 3 p.m. You got alpha.
Give it 1 minute, one spin, try it out, see how you like it. And I think it's worth the
worst thing that can happen is that you will support a creator. So I mean that's
the worst thing.
If you walk into
$1 something, for like $1, whatever the amount is, it's a tiny amount. And you can support that creator and then possibly win a whole bunch more.
Yeah, so, like if you have to like call home from the casino and be like, honey, I supported a creator. I'm sorry. Like, I bet it all on red, and I supported a creator. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of people call from Vegas with those notes, but they creator.
Oh yeah, creator.
That call's been made many times. What was this charge? Oh, I was
creation were they?
I was helping somebody get through school.
Props gone off the rails today, Adrian. I don't know. Don't let her go to Vegas. That's
you're making the digital casino sound so wholesome.
I know, exactly. Well, I mean, look right there. Free buffet. The dick butt on a pole. There you go. Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap this up. This has been awesome. I'm really excited for everything you're doing. I'm going to tune in for Better Together for today with Toady Hawk. Very exciting. With the Toady Hawk. It's the.
And if you're a creator, can I show that? Like if you're a creator who wants to have something featured, please drop in my DMs. We're only running every other day right now, so we have a bit of a list, but if you want to be featured and you have something either old and evergreen or something new that's coming out and you want to try and experiment, drop in my DMs and we'll be happy to do that. And if you're a token project, like we've had a few like Veil, shout out to Apex.
I love Apex.
Dickbutt and Runner and Zora and all these tokens. If you have a token like this that you'd like to get a little extra exposure and also distribution, it can be very win-win-win. So please get in touch and let me know if you want to sponsor a round, a betterment.
Cast out's just not worth enough. I don't have enough of it to give you to make it worthwhile, unfortunately.
No, well, we're gonna work on that too. Like we might make a mode where it's like not a jackpot, but like a mixing pot on one day where it's just like a bunch of meme coins to make it easier and more accessible. So stay tuned on that. It's a bit more technically difficult, but that's something we're looking at.
That would be cool. I don't have enough that makes it worthwhile for those collecting. Unfortunately. So anyway, but fantastic.
When Cast Out goes to $1 billion, then
exactly. When Cast Out goes to $1 billion, I will give you plenty to give away. I'll still be holding it because I'm not going to sell it. I just give it away. That's all I do. And the same thing with Giblify.
Yeah, when Giblify unlocks in a year, you better watch out.
You better watch out.
It's all going in
better. Now, Giblify popping off. And we'll use this background as well. Or it'll be perfect. It's perfect. It's ready. All right, Toady, thank you so much for being here with us today. This has been awesome. Adrian, any last questions before we sign off, or any last notes?
Nope. No, 10 out of 10, no notes.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Fantastic. I thought you were going to ask me like the best way to deal with an electrician or something like this.
That could be it as well.
You have? No, I haven't. My electrician is showing up in the next 5 minutes. So
fantastic. Okay, and that is it also for Cast Out until Monday. So Monday we'll be back at. Are we doing 11:30 on Monday? What are we doing?
Okay. Yes. Update. We are doing a regular PST friendly show We're doing every Monday, 11:30, with or without a guest. That's just our new time.
And then Monday we'll also
we will see. I think we got to stick with it. Oh, followed right. Cast out show right after.
We'll do a little bit of cast out, and we'll announce the new challenge. Exactly.
We are going to stick with the schedule for at least a month or 2, 3 months, just to we got to see enough. But there's been enough requests from the West Coasters that want a later show, so we'll stick with Monday. There is big new thing coming, so I think likely we will have Dan pop by to talk about that. So that'll also be probably a second show later in the week, at a later time. So just follow us, because we're constantly kind of updating these schedules.
We'll tell you,
or you'll miss big new thing. It's up to you.
You'll miss big new thing. You follow us, or you'll miss big new thing.
And mini app is in progress, and maybe we'll figure out how to send some notifications of schedule alerts. Maybe that's what we should. I don't know.
That should probably be the next focus. That'd be great. So we do have a mini app that's in the works. I have tested it out. It's cute. It needs a few more things, but that's okay. It's cute.
You haven't tested it out.
I have. I looked at
it. I know, but that was like the quick start tutorial from base that does nothing except like say hello world, but it's going to happen.
Hey, she's being a supportive partner.
I know. I'm trying to be supportive.
I appreciate it.
Tony, while we have you here, one last thing. Any advice for those playing cast out as the first cast out winner?
So the main thing is to get a good final 2 alliance, right, Adrian? I mean, but really though, like it could have gone either way.
That's actually tied up with a toad and everything.
I don't want to open. I don't want to open old wounds, but like it could either Adrian or I. It could have ended up the winner of that season, and it's because we did such a good job hiding our alliance. We had a final 2 alliance that literally nobody knew about in either team. So it's true, Adrian.
That's the way to go.
Okay, here's the. I'm gonna get. Okay, one, I never played these games before, so I didn't know anything about anything, but you should be in a final 2 alliance, but you should also know that your final 2 is going to stab you in the back. So I didn't know, I didn't even know where this was going. So you need to be the one making the final 2. Don't just like accept one from anyone. So like be the toady, not the Adrian.
No, I mean, you won a lot of competitions too. So it was, and you had your immunity, and so I honestly really
all you can do is get yourself to the end, and then
I never even I think because you asked me, I never trusted that it actually was a real final 2 alliance, but it was almost like
my toad and
you did.
She didn't understand. She didn't understand the value.
No, she did.
I actually forgot that when you're proposing an alliance, that's actually you can put skin it like. So Toady sent something to my wallet of value and said, if I don't actually keep my alliance word, you can keep this, which I wasn't going to do. Maybe I would have. But anyway,
I don't know. You might have been pissed off enough.
Right. That's actually good. So when you're making alliances, you can
add a little skin in the game.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So cast out's a little different now. It's tribe all the way up until the very final thing. And then the 5 people on that tribe will have an opportunity to play an individual game. So it's slightly different, but here's the funniest thing. There were 3 tribes when we started of 8 that had little nouners on them. 2 fully all little nouners and 1 that had 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
The first 2 voted out were Lil Fun and Lil's number 1. 2 of the little noun tribes. I'm like, you guys should have been able to keep yourselves in for at least till Monday.
Have you been to the Little Nouns Discord?
Yes, I have often. And last night, as a matter of fact.
Of course, they wouldn't keep each other in. It probably devolved into
I have to tell you this so you can give him shit. Sasquatch, we played Farcaster trivia yesterday. One of the questions is, which head is Lil Nouns token number 1? Okay. And it's the answers to choose from were unicorn, pirate ship, I forget. Let's say brick wall and pumpkin.
Is it pumpkin?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay.
Yes, but also he was talking to other little nouners at that time, and nobody how in the world did you miss this one? So he ended up getting
it's on that wall. It's on that wall too.
It's on the wall, and I posted about it that day, that morning. Like, here it is. Here's the cute little pumpkin.
I can't believe
Sasquatch blew it. He blew it.
My other piece of advice quickly before we go is just win as many competitions as you can. Adrian alluded to that, but don't like alliances and social game is important in these types of things, but don't let yourself be at someone else's behest. You gotta do it yourself. Win all the competitions you can. That does make you a target in some ways too. So you have to like counter your target on your back with like social game. But
yep. For sure. And I know Adrian has to run.
He's popping up all over the place. I think the electrician.
We all got to run. He's popping around. We've had lots of issues today. All right, everyone. Thank you all for hanging. We'll be back Monday. We'll see you then. And with that all, we say bye-bye.